What's up? We got Dapper Dan, the app man, with us today. I freaking love that. You got lucky on your name there, buddy.
Thanks.
We're talking staying sane as we do organic lead gen in this crazy world we live in. So let's just define crazy. If it has to do with world health, or if it has to do with your favorite social media platform's health, whatever the case may be, we're all kind of like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I used to feel that way, Dan. I don't know about you, but as I've I don't want to say gotten older, as I've matured in my marketing ability, I've learned that all these ups and downs are like waves in the ocean when you're surfing. You can't really control the wave, but you can sure as heck surf it, you know?
Yeah.
And I love that. I just love the opportunity that every one of these little twists and turns brings. If you just put on the sane hat and take off the crazy hat for a second. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people, and myself included, when I started, it's always, I'm going to do this strategy, but then I try it for a few days or a few months or a few weeks, and it doesn't work. So I switch over to this strategy. And I feel like a lot of people, myself included, when I started again, would be a lot further ahead in life and in business if you just pick a strategy and stick to it, even if it fails for a while, and it'll just pick up momentum over time. Yeah.
That is so freaking true. Like, oh my gosh, that's so true. And that annoys the heck out of me. Personally, when I like find myself getting tangled up in what's the current new buzz, whatever's going on, like it drives me crazy that I did it, like that I fell into it. I frequently have to remind myself, Dan, like not to pay attention. We pay attention, right? We know what's going on out there in the world, but not to let that impact my day in, day out life choices as a marketer, because it makes such a huge difference in the way that I play my strategic game. And I get controlled by the fear and the angst, not by the strategy I should be choosing.
Yeah.
You know?
But think about that in a hacker mentality. Why do you get sucked up into those? Why do you always why does that happen? It's because whoever's marketing that thing, that new idea, that new approach is doing a hell of a job at it.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true. They're using fear to attract my attention. I mean, really,
Yeah.
sometimes that's the case.
Yeah.
Don't do that, kids. Like, come on, we're better than that, right? We can all be the big people here. All right, so Dan and I are talking about this really because Dan and I come from pretty opposite ends of the spectrum on our own skill sets. Like, I am not a techie person. You guys see that all the time. Not a techie person. I look for always the simplest path, the path that doesn't require me to use many tools, because I just want to relate to people. I just like this organic thing. I like staring at a camera and talking. All right, I'm a stage hog. Dan, on the other hand, is extremely relatable and personable, but he's an app builder. Like, he's totally down the tech rabbit hole. And he's using apps to help coaches and experts and consultants and done-for-you agency owners, all those experts here, like figure out how to use that as a lead gen machine, as a place to keep content for our communities, a place to communicate with our communities. Lots of things there. So, Dan, thanks for hanging out and answering some questions. So, how are you seeing apps used? So apps have been around for a long time, obviously, but how are you seeing apps used in not just a way that somebody's like, oh, cool, I got an app for my business with my logo. Look at my iPhone, see it has my logo on this app, right? That's kind of what we all did like 5 years ago. And they were like, okay, that was worthless. I did nothing with that app. How are you seeing the tool actually get used to generate leads, let's say?
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot. It's funny when you say you're not, or I'm more of the techie guy, because I don't consider myself a techie guy either. I like the word strategist, because that's really what this comes down to. I'm going to try to stop talking with my hands because I do it too much. But no, so when a lot of people think of an app, they think of like a game. They think of the different things that you just like a Facebook, like a social media type of thing. But probably the reason why a lot of people who are like, I need an app for my business, that don't get results for it or leads for it, is because they treat it like another website. And it's not a website. It's a different functionality. There's different things you can do with it. Like a website is a website, a funnel is a funnel. Now an app can really, as long as you structure it properly, can really just be an automatic, hands-off lead generation machine inside of not only getting emails, but free trials and notifications and just different ways to notify people instead of just relying only on email. You can text people, you can notify people, you can do all kinds of different things. So the people that I've seen, especially when it comes to lead generation ones or organic or marketing, or I'm sorry, not marketing, community
Mhm.
apps, they're really just kind of taking the things that are working best inside of Facebook, inside of YouTube, inside of the engagement world, and putting their own flair on it. But thinking through it strategically of like, okay, someone sees my content, they download my app, they're onto, a list, and now I can email them. Now I can get in front of them. Now I can expose, not expose myself. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
can
you can expose your content
in the
and
cleanest way
education.
possible, right? Yeah. But you can put them into drip sequences, all this type of stuff. So that's really it takes a little bit of forethought, like any kind of funnel would.
Mhm.
But that's really how I see the most successful ones working.
Hmm. I totally get that. That's way stickier also than like so many of us have like a 3-part video series or something like that on our website or a free download. Because once that PDF is downloaded, yeah, you got their email, but now all you got is their email. You might capture a mobile number, but once you got an app, you're in their world. You're, I mean, really, you're sitting on the table, you're on the nightstand, you're in the pocket, you're sitting on the dashboard of the car. Like you're right there.
Yeah.
You can hang out.
Well, and
Huh.
another thing to think about too is, there are actually studies out there that show like the average person only spends we spend a lot of time on our phones, right?
Mhm.
But 80% of the time that you spend on your phone is spent within 5 different apps.
No way.
Yes way. So that's what's crazy is like it's sometimes it can be a hard game to break into, but then like you said, if once you can master that ability to, hey, people want to be reminded of you. They want to actually they
Mm.
downloaded your thing for a reason, and now you're in, like, you don't have to worry about, like, I don't know your website, like, what's your website name again? Oh no, there's this little icon I can just click on and go to this thing, or through an email or whatever the case might be. So there's yeah, there's a lot of power in it for sure.
Yeah, that's oh, what's up, JL? Hey man, it's good to see you, dude. Welcome back, buddy. Happy holidays, my friend. Um, so so I love that, Dan, because you got like a lot of the stickiness there is so important. So the five apps, that's crazy. I'm sure one of them's Instagram or Facebook or whatever their favorite social, LinkedIn or Clubhouse, wherever they hang out.
Yeah.
And then there's probably, if they're a fanatic like working out, there's probably their workout app, blah blah. I get it. That makes tons of sense. I'm trying to think what those apps are on my phone. It's kind of fascinating to think about. For me, it's not socials. It's definitely YouTube and a workout app, and right now probably Disney Plus because I'm just crushing my way through Marvel movies and Hawkeye again, right? Oh my gosh, I'm loving the Hawkeye series.
Well, you can go into your screen time and find that
I
out,
can
but
find it out, yeah.
yeah.
All right, so but the thing is, once I get so the trick is to be able to get someone, let's say they come through your funnel or they hear you on a podcast or whatever, and you can make an offer that says, hey, yeah, for everybody listening, you can go follow this link, grab our app, and in that app, I'm just making this up as I go, in that app, there's a 7-day process that'll guide you through how to take action, make a transformation, figure out that new great thing. That way they're downloading the package and you're giving them a habit to start following that lets them know, hey, today's new content drop just happened. Hey, let's go ahead and knock these 3 tasks out. You got this challenge thing kind of built in. I mean, there's a lot there. Am I getting the right idea here?
No, yeah, you are. And so kind of going back to what you talked about before and combining it with this, like, think about, why are you on YouTube? Why are you on Instagram? Why are you on Disney Plus? Because there's fresh content.
Mm-hmm.
There's fresh things there. When something gets static, like static water in a pond becomes covered with fungus. But
Yeah.
moving water through a stream there's no fungus on it, right? Or algae or whatever you'd call it. So it works the same way. The more you're able, like, there's so many possibilities of putting in new content, dropping in new things, like you said, free programs, upsells, downsells, new funnels, like new programs, new habits, whatever,
Hmm.
like your imagination becomes the only limit, you know, and then you can, because you can keep engaging people for that fresh content you're putting out, that fresh stuff, and it becomes sticky.
Man, that's really good.
Yeah.
Like most of us have so much content already. We just don't have a place to continue pushing that. We drop it out and stream it. Like come on, we're doing it right now, right?
Yeah.
We're hitting up multiple platforms and we're going to repurpose all this. Got it. All right. We all know the game. But in an app, I'm catching on here. In an app, I can actually take all this content, put it in a notification system, and then structure all my content from the past, let's say 12 months, and pull out, here's all the early stage lead gen stuff. Here's all the stuff about organic versus paid attraction. Here's the sales process. Here's like how to create a high ticket mastermind. Here's how to build your content. Here's how to figure out what your offers. Like I can take people, I could take people through 60 days worth of day in, day out content to launch their own high ticket mastermind with no problem at all with the content I already have created.
Yeah.
And I could do all that in an app and make it sticky.
Yeah. You can.
Light bulb's going off over here, man. like that's really appealing. Yeah. Because as a content creator, everybody in this community, we all do this. We spend a lot of time creating, right? And it feels like Dan, you're probably this way too. It feels like we like create all this stuff, like this interview we're doing now, and then we might repurpose 5 or 6 ways. You know, there's lots of companies in our community who repurpose it like 60 different ways for you, and that's super awesome. But ultimately, still, it kind of gets tossed after a month or two. It hardly ever stays in our ecosystem long term. But wow, you've done the work.
Yeah. And actually, and that's actually cool that you mentioned that. I had a client first, one of my first clients, actually, we finally built her app and we got all of her, she did coaching, some kind of like Reiki coaching for like 25 years. So she had tons and tons of content, right? But then she was tired of just constantly posting out on YouTube, constantly doing this stuff on Facebook, Instagram, all this type of stuff. And she would always get these one-on-one messages from people, and she would do this one-on-one coaching, and she was just constantly bombarded with like, hey, what do I do for this? What do I do for that? What do I do for this? And she sent me a message one day. She's like, this is so cool that I can just be like, hey, actually go into the app that I have and listen to this note. It's like 5 minutes. It'll really help you what you're talking about. Right. She offloaded, I don't know, probably an hour to 2 hours worth of work for herself a day because of that.
Wow.
I was like, okay, how much time, how much money did that save you? You know, and she wasn't even that high of a level of coach, but just because she was stuck in this one-on-one thing all the time. So she just was like, okay, let's import it all into here. Let's organize it. Let's tag it. And now I can just refer people and just be like, hey, go here, go here, go here. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's really slick.
Evergreen.
Yeah, man, that's the functionality of that. As somebody who, I traditionally run 2 masterminds at a time personally, and it's work, man. It really is. And I got my systems and people dialed in super well, so I only have to work 6 or 8 hours a week on leading those 2 masterminds. But I'm constantly looking for ways to make me not the bottleneck in the process, because people join our mastermind because they want me and the people I bring into a group. That's why people join masterminds anywhere.
Yeah.
But that makes sometimes the host of the mastermind the bottleneck for how much that can grow. And yeah, an app like this, I can see how that would really help us streamline our workflow, not just from a lead gen standpoint, but from a content delivery and community management standpoint. So, okay, tell me this next level stuff then. Can I have the Group Coach Nation app, if we were going to build one of those? Could it have like a segmented piece where here's the free version, people can gather free stuff, just like right here in our communities we're talking right now, and to make that simple and easy for people to actually get traction and do something, and then have a segmented space where people who are in our masterminds proper could have access to, you know, only the stuff that them and their 15-person cohort has.
Yes. Yep. And that kind of goes back to the topic of today's thing with organic lead gen, right? That is one of the things when I first was going down this business that I was like, okay, there's a huge market out there that people are missing. Did you know that the App Store has an average visitor rate of over 500,000 people per week?
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's just like it's just like any website, it's like any funnel.
Yeah.
It's like SEO, right? If you don't rank high enough, it's hard to get organic stuff there, hard
Oh,
to get
dang.
traction. But yeah, that's one thing that I've started helping people out with, is to be like, okay, if you can get an extra, I mean, if you could get your app downloaded 500, 1,000 times a week, that's 1,000 free leads per week that automatically get to see your content, right? That automatically just get to see whatever you have for free in there. And then they can be put into sequences, into automations, into systems that can
Heck yeah.
then be funneled into your high ticket stuff, which can then be fulfilled inside of there as well. Like when that light bulb went off for me, I was like, this is incredible. Like,
So it's a whole nother platform for lead gen, the app stores themselves.
Yep. 100%.
Did not catch on to that.
Yeah.
Like, that's good. Because folks, if you have a book out there, for instance, then all of a sudden Amazon becomes a whole nother lead gen source for you, not just,
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, man, this has a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
And the one thing I like about this is it helps me step away from, mind blowing, right? I know there's like a lot of connections here. Good comment there.
And so let's think about this too. You're going to run Facebook ads, you're going to run YouTube ads, you're going to run Google ads. Those cost you money every single day, right? To list an app on Google Play costs you $25 one time ever for life, okay? To list an app on the App Store costs $99 a year. So for $99 per year, like, if that's your organic lead gen piece, like, come on. You know what I mean?
That's nothing. Yeah. What am I paying, like $60 a month for this StreamYard account? Yeah. Nothing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's solid. See, I like this. And then I'm assuming there's some strategies for getting your app kind of ranked up a little bit, asking for reviews, all that kind of stuff to get it, because you got to make that platform sing, right?
Yeah, that's a whole different conversation. There's a lot involved in that,
and hence the strategist part of your name. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man. All right, folks, we got to go here in a minute, but let's just go for the moral of the story here, Dan. Everybody just needs to take a step back. It's the holidays. Take a step back from your marketing efforts, your lead gen efforts, your onboarding, all of that. Just take a step back and just think about what you're doing and ask yourself, number one, am I caught up in the noise? Am I reacting, or am I being proactive? When you're proactive, you're going to save lives. When you're reactive, you're just going to be one of the casualties. So get out there and be the lifeguard to your community. Don't splash and scream and yell shark. Get out there and help people do the right thing. Help them learn to surf, not drown. The waves are coming. Okay? It's the beach. Some days are cloudy, some days are sunny. The waves always come no matter what day. Teach your people how to surf. That's really great. And Dan, thanks for helping us understand a completely different surfboard. This is a really great model.
I love the surfing analogy.
Yeah, I love surfing. Dan, do you surf?
I don't. I've never surfed. No.
I fall off of surfboards. That's my version of surfing.
Yeah.
I go out and swim a bunch, and I chase waves, and I stand up and fall over and over and over again. I'm not the cool guy who's like,
yeah, hey, you know what? Whatever.
It's like twice a day you stand up and ride all the way in, and that's just enough of a hit to where you're like, yeah, I'm doing this again tomorrow. I got this. Okay, so folks, Dan and I probably have offline conversations here to have, because I think an app is in Group Coach Nation's future. Dan just gave me work. Yeah, right. I know. Thanks. Yeah, do the work, get results. We say all the time here, Dan.
Yep.
Because there's no get rich quick schemes that really pay off, folks. Come on, let's be honest. You got to do the right work to get the results.
And just one thing as we close real quick too, if you go out there and you research hey, should I get an app? Should I do all this type of stuff? Which is probably inevitable if you start thinking about this. It's like what we all do. You're going to see all kinds of different stuff that's apps are the greatest thing ever, and then apps are outdated and they're never going to work, and I've spent money on this and it's never got me thinking. It's just like what we talked about before. It's the strategy behind it, it's what you put into it, and it's how you steward it, right? And there's always going to be the people that, you know, join funnel communities and never make any money, and there's people who join funnel communities and make $10 million. It comes down to your skills, it comes down to what you have, your offer, the strategy behind it, all that type of stuff. So that's just one thing I would love to say to people. If you're thinking about that and you go out and Google because they're like, oh, you know, apps are dead. And it's like, well, no, I mean, Apple's the biggest company in the world and they're not really going anywhere. You know what I mean? So like just calm down with that, you know? So.
And if apps are so dead, then why does my phone look like this?
Yeah. Yeah. Mine has like 18 pages of apps. Like I'm a little overboard because, you know, that's what I do. But
yeah, I love it. I love the way you're saying that, because people think, oh, Facebook's dead. Oh, LinkedIn is not as good as this platform, or Instagram doesn't attract these kind of people. No, the people are there, folks. There's a lot of them on every freaking platform. I promise you, your target market is on every platform. There's a lot of people in this world. You just got to steward the process and the strategy and tailor it. I love that word, steward. You got to tailor that strategy and then continue stewarding it as you go. Just like you would your investment account, just like you would your kids' education, just like you would your dog training routine. You get the dog, you're super excited, you pick the routine, and then you got to keep up with it.
Yep. 100%.
Okay, so Dan, people are going to have questions for you. How can they reach out?
You can go to dappermobileapps.com. Very simple. Just have a very simple form you can fill out. You can even book a call with me if you're interested. We can just talk about it and see what your idea is. I love to hear people's ideas. I just love to hear them all day long. It's awesome.
Let me just put this on the screen real quick because I'm a horrible speller, Dan. I don't want to mess it up. So www.dappermob.
DAPP. See?
Oh, you got see? See, I'm already messing up. PPER mobile
apps.
MOBILE. Is that how you spell mobile?
Yes, correct. .com.
All right, let's just see. Does that look right to you?
You got it, dude.
All right, so for you listeners, DAPPERMOBILEAPPS.com. You can drop him a line and ask him some questions. We'll also hook your social links up here just so people can reach out to you on whatever platform.
Sounds good.
Cool, man. Dude, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
And let's continue this conversation offline, because I think Group Coach Nation has an app in their future.
Sounds good.
All right. Everybody, do the freaking work. Get the results. You guys are awesome. Like, we say this all the time. Don't go out there and get rich quick. It doesn't take long to be an expert and sell your expertise and be a consultant or done for you. You can get a new client this month. It's not hard. The thing is, you got to do it the right way. Build that strategy. People desperately need what you've figured out. If you're going to do it for them or coach them through the process, either way or both, yay you for helping someone else succeed. So do the work, get the results, and get out there and crush it. All right. Talk soon, everybody. Chris and Dan here, Group Coach Nation.